In today's video, I'm going to help you with those pesky long irons. Nothing better in the game than hitting a ripped long iron off the grass. I'm going to help you do exactly that. Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today I'm talking to you about long irons. Long irons are the nemesis of many golfers, me included, and I hope to share with you a few thoughts and tips to make you play your long irons a little bit more efficiently. As usual, we've got my 4 favourite Trackman boxes up. We've got the attack angle, the club path, the face angle and the face to path. If you're not familiar with those data points, the attack angle is how much we hit down or up on the golf ball. The club path is whether the path is travelling from the inside of the ball or the outside of the ball. Face angle, whether the face is pointing left or the right of the target, and the face to path value is whether the club face is closed to the direction of the path or open to the direction of the path. That being said, today about the 4-iron. I'm going to just hit a couple of 7-irons just to start us off with and just talk through a couple of the data points on the Trackman. As per usual, I've not hit any shots before, and so let's see if we can pull a couple of half decent ones out the back. So we're off and running. We're 5.5 degrees down. We're a couple of degrees from the inside and 1.6 face closed to path. A beautiful little draw onto our target. 5.5 degrees of down strike, as you see on the left hand side here, is a reasonable attack angle. It's quite a long way down for a 7-iron. Again, depends on how much club head speed, because the club head speed will dictate whether you can get away with a decent amount of downstrike or a low amount of downstrike. The faster you swing the golf club, the more you get away with hitting down. The slower you swing, the more you need to have a lighter angle of attack. That will make your ball be more efficient. And that's important when we come to thinking about long irons. I'm now going to pull up my 4-iron and I'm going to drag that golf ball back because that's one of the lovely Titleist RCT balls. And I'm going to make a golf swing and I'm going to produce my attack angle at 5.5 down as close as I can. So she was down whereabouts 2.4, so quite light. Nice shot though. Little draw onto the target. Now you can see that that ball has launched reasonably low, and I'm just going to pull up the Trackman Optimizer function that we've not really covered on the channel before. Optimizer function now up on the screen, and this is an optimizer function that Trackman gives us to tell us where we are in the sweet spot of the ball efficiency. The attack angle on the far left hand side is dictated by the mid-trajectory flight that we're looking for. We can have a mid, low or high trajectory, which effectively will change the angle of attack that we need to produce to make the ball go low or high. Trackman measures my club speed and it also knows that I'm hitting a 4-iron. The blue brackets are the areas that give us a sweet spot in performance. My spin loft was a little on the low side. Spin loft being a little on the low side, it meant that my ball speed went up. It felt less spin loft, therefore the ball had less spin on it. It had less flight, and that's why the ball had a little bit extra carry. Now the contact on the golf ball is an important one, whether we struck it high on the face or low on the face. Therefore, that's very important to understand as well. Now we have the impact locator up, and you can see that I was slightly heel side, not too bad on this occasion in terms of a vertical impact point, but in terms of a horizontal impact point, I was a little on the heel side. Now every golf club will react differently, whether you're hitting it high on the face, low on the face, more towards the heel or more towards the toe. That's something that you need to investigate with your own equipment, but it will have an effect. That was a little bit about the data of the shots and how we really do, with new technology, have the opportunity to give you insight into how efficient or inefficient you're being with your equipment. There's a plethora of information out there that will give you insights into spin rates, launch angles and efficiencies of all of these golf clubs. But today I want to talk to you more about long irons and how you're going to maximize your ability to strike them well. One of the videos I would really recommend you watching is my attack angle video. It talks about tee height and how we use our levers to strike up on the golf ball. With a 7-iron, we really have a sensation that the golf ball is fairly central in our stance and we're creating a downstrike. Well, of course, if you make that downstrike with the 4-iron, understanding that the attack angle is going to either increase the ball flight or reduce the ball flight, your attack angle is a big play when it comes to long irons. Now, depending on which side of the fence you sit on, whether you are a slicer of the golf ball or a hooker of the golf ball, will depend a lot on how much you either hit down or hit up on the golf ball. For someone that is a weak gripper of the golf club, someone that is a open face gripper, swinger of the golf club rather, you're the type of guy that is very comfortable with hitting down. So with an open club face, you can hit down and still create some decent ball flight because your face is open to your path. The launch of the golf ball is much higher than the shot before because my face was a long way open to the path. And therefore, hitting down on it didn't sacrifice the flight. Now, I'm going to hit down, aim to hit down at 3.4 with a face that's closed to the path. Hopefully, we've created a closed face to path. 5.4 down. Look at how the ball flight is now flattened out and falling out of the sky. Therefore, the ability to strike a long iron now becomes harder because we need downstrike and we need a face to path value that's really quite neutral. Understanding what is required of a long iron is the first steps that are going to allow you to move forwards to look to what you need to produce more as a golfer. If you're a slicer of the golf ball that has no issue getting the ball airborne with a long iron but just can't strike it, you might want to look at something that's going to reduce the amount of shape in the sky. For someone that can't get the ball in the air, you might want to look at how much face to path value, whether your club face is coming in too close or you're hitting down too much. These are all questions that you need to find out and ask yourself about your game. But understand that the discipline of the long iron is that we need, as best as possible, a light angle of attack down at the bottom of the golf swing. So the angle of attack, the lighter it is down at the bottom of the golf ball, the more ball flight we will tend to see. So you can see I'm only at 0.4 down there. I've still had a closed face to path, but because my angle of attack was light, still hit down, I got some ball flight. As soon as I hit down, for whatever reason, we know that that ball flight will now pull itself out of the sky. That ball flight is sacrificed. I've hit down 5.6, but I've got a little bit more flight because the face was open to the path. Attack angles will make a golfer feel like when they hit down on them that they can get a strike with the golf ball. You get away with that with your 7-irons and 8-irons. But when you go to your longer golf club, it becomes way, way more tricky because you're now managing strike and flight. That's why the long iron is a hideous weapon. We get away with it with hybrids because they're a little bit more forgiving for various reasons, but we're not going to go into that today. The feel, therefore, is trying to make your angle of attack, whoever you are, as light as possible. It wants to feel like you're going to bruise the ground. You're not going to aim to make divots. It feels at the bottom that the golf club is passing you by. Again, check out my angle of attack video. It feels like the golf club is passing you by down at the bottom here. I'm not trying to swing up. I'm not trying to drive the club into the floor. I'm trying to allow the golf club to feel like it's going to pass me by down at the bottom. Whether the club rolls over, whether the club unloads under, I don't give a monkeys. But that club head must pass you down at the bottom of the golf ball, which will reduce the angle of attack that you see on the golf ball, which will produce loads of ball flight. So a good little practice drill is getting yourself on a high tee and trying to whip the ball off the top of the high tee. And if you can whip it off the top of the high tee, you'll start to produce an angle of attack that is more akin to the feel that you're looking for when the ball is on the floor. If you were to hit down on that, you would have hit it hideously high on the face and made a poor contact. So we're really looking for that swept motion down at the bottom, reducing the angle of attack as much as possible. Little club twirl there. We're 0.2 down. Nice ball flight, little draw. And a super shot to the target. Hopefully that's been insightful today, giving you more insight into long iron play and what is needed from the golfer and what you might be playing within your golf swing that causes you the errant strikes and directions and flights that you experience with your long irons. If you've liked today, if you've liked the video, please subscribe while you're here, click the like button, share with your friends, and as usual, I will see you on the next one.